Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning gonna do Bleach Chapter 491 review. This chapter, Bleach, Kubo, very good. Look, in my opinion, Kubo has been pulling out all the stops, and I like the stops. This chapter is good. In my opinion, very good. I mean, I'll say out of like all the three major series right now, in this current arc, or in their current arcs right now, Bleach right now is delivering the most right now. Because I don't know what Kubo's eating. Kubo's eating his Wheaties. He's eating his Wheaties because right now, putting out all the stops, and it's good shit. It's good shit, alright? This chapter review, it may be quick, it may be slow, maybe I'm not too sure. We'll just go with it. But I will say, Kirige is impressive. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if he looks weird. I don't care if he looks gay. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Kirige is impressive. Very impressive, alright? Oh yeah, very impressive. Because honest to God, like, I'm excited for these Bleach chapters, which is surprising me, because I have been excited for Bleach chapters in a few years. Like, in my opinion, what's happening right now with Kirige and the Quincy, in my opinion, it is more exciting than the Ichigo Aizen fight at the end of the Ironkura saga. Yeah, oh yeah, I'm saying it right now, because, I mean, that fight, in my opinion, it was like, you know, like, I guess I needed more. Like, I was looking forward to, like, a lot, and a lot didn't happen in that fight. It was kind of like, you know, cut, Mugetsu. I'm like, okay, you know, so. But this, yes, nigga. Kirige is pulling out the stops. I like the Quincy. In my opinion, the Quincy should have been pushed like 100 episodes ago or 100 chapters ago, but you know, it took Kubo a while, but now here he is delivering the goods with the Quincy. Hail Quincy, hail Quincy, hail, hail Quincy. All right. So let me get on with the actual review. 3 key points for this chapter. The first key point is going to be the first half of this fight in the chapter between Kirige and Ichigo, where Kirige explains to him, because what happens is basically Ichigo is contemplating as to why this complete holy form is staying for Kirige, or like is it like Ishida's complete holy, or not complete holy form. I believe Ishida's thing was called, and again, like, my German is horrible, so I think it's called the Licht still. I'm not too sure on that one, okay? But basically, it was the transformation that Ishida Uyu attained by snapping the ring around his glove, and then, or like the brace around his glove, and then he got a spike in Reiatsu, and then he became like beastly, where he was spanking Mairi, okay? Spanking him. So basically, Ichigo's contemplating as to why, you know, like, could this be like the same effect where he will lose his powers at the end of that? And Kirige, and the thing is, I read the manga stream translation. The other site that I read from, it said that Kirige was reading his mind, which kind of threw me off. I'm like, is that part of this thing now? But no. In the manga stream, more accurate translation, Kirige is more or less contemplating, because he sees that Ichigo is confused about something, and he makes the deduction that he's confused because he's seen the previous complete holy form, and he's comparing it to the current holy form, and he's like, it's not the same thing, they're different. And then he explains how over the course of 200 years, the Quincy have developed stronger technology. Their technology has developed, and their science has reached a certain level where they can sustain the complete holy form for a long period of time without suffering the drawbacks of the former Licht still. So, and that to me was like, this is a clear sign that these guys are the representation of the First Reich, of neo-Nazi Germany, without a doubt. Why? Because during that time in Germany's history, technology spiked. Technology spiked, okay? I mean, everyone, if you know your history, and if you can indulge and go in depth with it, then you can obviously find out fairly easily that the Germans would have actually dominated all of Europe. They would have controlled all of Europe had they not fought the Russians and the Americans from two different sides. So they would have won. But, you know, history said, fuck that. You're not going to win. Hitler got cocky. He got cocky. He paid the price. And that was it. So, yeah. But that being said, you know, these... Oh, yeah, and one more thing. No. One more thing, all right? This, in my opinion, explains as to why Kirige has a sword, okay? When you take a look at Ishida Uryu, and Kirige explains during the fight, because as he's talking, they're going blow for blow, toe for toe, okay? Blow for blow, toe for toe. They're going back and forth. And Kirige explains how, okay, well, Soken was he had a strong affinity to the old ways of doing things. He didn't want to evolve like the current Quincy did. He didn't want to use greater forms of technology. He wanted to stay old school. And this brings up the notion that Ishida himself is an old school Quincy. He uses old school equipment, uses old school skills. Okay? Ishida is old school. Ryuken, I'm not too sure. His grandfather, Ishida's grandfather, Soken, he's old school. Kirige, he's new school. And the new school way is the beastly way. Why? Because this explains, and again, part of the reason as to why I believe that his sword is actually like shaped like an actual sword or like a katana in a sense, is because, or like a mixture of a French rapier and a katana. And the reason why is because we see that the particles, and like we see at one point in this chapter where Kirige starts absorbing all these reishi particles. Well, if his sword is more technologically, if his equipment is more technologically advanced, then his reishi sword should be an actual sword. Whereas opposed to where Ishida, using old school shit 200 years ago, is gonna have some mock like reishi blade, which is what we see. I mean, that's my take on it. That's my take, okay? That could explain the reason why Kirige has an actual sword, whereas opposed to Ishida had a glowing stick of reishi, like a lightsaber. Yeah, pretty much, all right? And, you know, that thing goes on. This brings up key point number 2, which is the Divine Justice, which basically Ichigo does a Getsuga Tencho, and he's relieved that the transformations that Kirige have and Ishida have are different, because he'd be appalled if Ishida transformed into what Kirige did. Kirige is like, you know, screw you. Well, we are the advocates of holy justice, and all of a sudden Ichigo does like a Getsuga Tencho. Kirige dodges it by like a hair's breadth. Okay, mad cocky too. Then he hits Ichigo. Ichigo's flying back, I believe so. And then he performs a reishi stance where he just swings his arm up. And this is a beastly stance. And the entire time he's just levitating. And I think that's Hireikaku. But that being said, he's levitating and does a beastly stance, absorbs reishi. And it's forming into like a weird cross-shaped form, which he calls Divine Justice. And I'm sitting here like, please get this thing off. I want to see you get this thing off for me. But no, what happens here is key point number 3. And key point number 3 is basically the 3 fraction of Harribel, Sunsun, Milrose, and Apache. They come back and they summon Aion. Aion then destroys the Divine Justice, and then Kirige gets punched in the face, and then he looks at Aion, and then, you know, that's the end of the chapter. Now, the thing is that, in my opinion, these 3 bitches, no offense, but these 3 bitches should have sat the fuck down, let Ichigo do his thing, and I want, because honestly, Aion, really? He's back? What? The dude who got wastelanded by Genryusai? Fucking, like, that's all he did. He pulled some actual samurai techniques and then cut this dude in half. Yeah, so I mean, hopefully, I mean, ultimately, right now, it's turning into like a 4-on-1. Well, 5-on-1 or 2-on-1. If Ion and Ichigo fight against Kyuuge, it's 2-on-1. If it's gonna be 5-on-1, if Apache, Sunset, and Miller Rose hop in, so 5-on-1 or 2-on-1. That being said, Kyuuge is outnumbered, and he's still gonna be beastly as shit. Why? Because he's Quincy. He's new school. This is the new school, man. And the new school kick ass. Hail Quincy, bitch. Hail Quincy. Okay? With that being said, in my opinion, and this could explain as to why there is this structure hovering over Soul Society, because their technology has advanced so far. So I don't see how their technology could advance so far where they make a giant fucking boot. For those of you guys who are saying it's a boot, like, how? Why the fuck would it be a boot? What? No, it's an airship. They're coming in hot. They're coming in hot. Like, yeah. Why? Because their technology has advanced so far where they're not gonna make giant fucking boots. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, what the fuck? Giant boots? What? I mean, if I'm wrong, then I'll admit I'm wrong. Okay, fine. If next chapter we see over Soul Society is a giant goddamn boot, then I'm wrong. But if it's not, and if it's an airship, then you tell everyone King Aizen said, yo, it was a fucking airship. And guess what? Fucking airship. Okay? But that being said, great chapter of Bleach. I don't care what anyone says. Great chapter of Bleach. Kubo is pulling out the stops. I am looking forward to seeing this. Now, there is one thing on my mind. That one thing on my mind is a fear. And the fear is that we have been getting consistently good chapters of Bleach. No doubt. No doubt. However, this may lead to a dry period. Like you know how like there's like a flood like in some parts of the world, and then after that there'll be like a few years of drought? Well, this could be the same thing. There may be a very dull period where nothing happens, and I can see this happening when Ichigo returns to the human world, and this involves those two other Shinigami, those two like random Shinigami that came in at like the beginning of the arc. Those two like useless motherfuckers. So, but that being said, in my opinion, great chapter of Bleach. I'll see you guys later. King of Lightning, rate, comment, subscribe. Peace. Kyuuge for the motherfucking win. New school for the motherfucking win. Hail Quincy. Signing off. Have a nice day.